We learned in class about system traps, which are common patterns of problematic behavior within systems. In this video, we will be focusing on tragedy of the commons. Tragedy of the commons specifically is growth in shared erodible environment. Imagine that this area is inhabited by a native species of frog. The frog population is thriving. This area is public property. Anyone can come use the area. One day, Baby Yoda stumbles across the area and decides to check it out. He discovers the area has a dense population of his favorite species of frog. He begins to show up regularly to snack on these decadent frogs. Eventually, more Baby Yodas learn about the open access to frogs and start coming too. At first, the ecosystem is resilient, meaning it can bounce back despite being disrupted by the Yodas. Eventually, each Yoda acts in self-interest and begins devouring several frogs per day. These actions push the land past its threshold, depleting the land and causing the frog population to go extinct. No frogs. That would make Baby Yoda sad, and literally no one wants that. So now what? How can we avoid this? We can regulate. We can get lawmakers to pass a regulation about the amount of frogs that can be consumed. Here, our regulation is 1 frog per Yoda per day. This regulation will allow for our frog populations to remain resilient and keep from depleting. We can educate. We will take the Yodas to school to educate them on frogs. It turns out that consuming this specific species of frog is not only bad for the species, but also bad for the Yodas. The frogs often contain viruses that are harmful to the Yodas when ingested. Apples are found to be much healthier and more beneficial to the Yodas. They have made the educated decision to eat more apples and less frogs, helping the species. The last way to avoid this is privatization. Instead of having this land open for all public access, we can have it divided into groups of private ownership. The Yodas who are landowners will likely be more inclined to take care of their land and will limit consumption to ensure their frog supply will never diminish beyond restoration. So what have we learned? Tragedy of the commons happens in shared environments and is caused by a group competitively acting in self-interest. It destroys or diminishes the quality of the desired resource. It can be avoided by educating, regulating, or privatizing the commons. Remember, a happy Baby Yoda is a happy planet, so make sure not to fall into any system traps.